Hello, everybody, and welcome to the November 19th, 2018 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine, and it seems like Ohio is just going to become the home state to pro-life nonsense. Or really, I don't even call it nonsense anymore because we have officially reached into negative sense. Now, I showed you guys a while back when Ohio passed legislation that said you could not abort a fetus with Down syndrome, which is probably the weirdest form of eugenics I've ever seen, because normally eugenics is aimed at people who are, well, considered to be the most fit. This is aimed at the people who are disabled, and it's still eugenics. It doesn't make much sense. And then, of course, there was the heartbeat bill that limited abortion to 6 weeks. Well, apparently they don't want to stop there because this is from WOSU. One of my viewers sent me this. Ohio legislator considers total abortion ban. Wow. First off, that's actively illegal. I just want to make that clear. You cannot legally do that. However, second off, just why at this point? Here's what the article says. There's been a lot of attention given to the conscientious heartbeat bill, which bans abortion at the point that a fetal heartbeat can be detected, since it's passed in the Ohio House earlier this week. But Republican lawmakers are considering another bill during this lame duck session that would ban abortion entirely. HB 565, which was introduced in March, would allow criminal charges against both doctors and pregnant women seeking abortions. It would characterize a, quote, unborn human, which, on a side note, doesn't even make any sense, as a person under Ohio's criminal code, meaning abortion could be punishable by life in prison or even the death penalty. That has to be a joke at this point. Okay, so we found this woman and she's going to kill a fetus. What are we going to do? We're going to kill her, which would also kill the fetus. And you want to know the scariest part? I like this part the most. There are no exceptions, even in the cases of rape, incest, or danger to a woman's life. So, if that pregnancy is going to kill you, well, better it kill you than you get an abortion. You know, there was a book about, it wasn't Handmaid's Tale. I know it's the one most people come to mind, but there's another one, it's a lesser known one. I think it was called Divergent. And it was about a world where all abortion was banned. And then guess what happened? Most kids just became wards of the state. Or shuffled around in adoption agencies, which is obviously what's going on, mind you. And obviously what's going to happen. And then, can I just talk about the eternal contradiction here? How these are the people who say, oh, the problem with the black people is that they're having too many children. Meanwhile, the other problem is that black babies are too likely to be aborted. Wait, which one is it? That doesn't make any sense. Is it that they don't have enough children or that they have too many children? That doesn't... What? Oh my god, this is just awful in every way. And to give you an idea of how bad it is, this is not one of the bills Ohio Right to Life has targeted for passage. Not even they believe in this. That's how stupid it is. Now, despite the fact that this guy, a Mr. Mike Got a Dingus, is being reasonable here, I will still read him out in a Mitch McConnell voice because I still think he's a complete idiot. We need to continue to pass legislation in an incremental approach, which is what Ohio Right to Life does. They can't actually believe that, for the record. I'm sorry, I have to go on a little tangent here. They can't believe some of the strictest abortion laws in the country is incremental. And for that matter, if they really felt it was so bad, why aren't they supporting this? Like, honest to God, I do not see the difference between something like this and all other pro-lifers. The only difference is at least the rest of the pro-life movement is smart enough to not make that their opening move. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is continuing in her quest to, at least in the mind of Republicans, literally become Joseph Stalin. Now, you may be thinking, shouldn't they at least wait until she's a member of Congress? Well, apparently not. Because she said this during a live Q&A on her phone on a Friday night when she was probably really tired. What we really need is that, should we, and if we work our butts off to make sure that we take back all three chambers of Congress, rather all three chambers of government, the presidency and the Senate and the House in 2020. Oh no! She said chambers. Well, that's inaccurate. Clearly there are three branches. Those are the legislative, which has the House and the Senate, the executive, which has the presidency, and the judicial, that has the Supreme Court. But wait a minute. Only two of those are elected, the executive and the legislative. And even then, the executive, you only elect the president. Everyone else is appointed by him. So wait. Let me try and think this. And in 2020, did she mean all three elected buildings, maybe? And she just phrased it kind of weirdly? No, that's impossible. Just ask Corey Stallings over at Louder with Crowder, the website that has such a problem with misspeaking that it endorsed Donald Trump. And here's what they had to say. Allow me to clear things up. There are 0 chambers of the United States government. Really now? There's 3 branches: legislative, judicial, and executive. Funny how a redneck with a high school diploma knows that, and not the smarty pants you unironically said smarty pants and you're over the age of 8. Socialist in one of the highest offices in the land. Okay, no, she isn't. She's in a congressional seat from New York's 14th district. That is not one of the highest offices in the land. That's just a single seat in Congress. If she was a senator, that statement would at least make sense. Heck, if she was speaker, that statement would make sense. But just some random congresswoman? No, that doesn't make any sense at all. Especially when, and I understand this may be hard to understand, Corey, she won't actually be in Congress for another month and a half. What? I can be equally as patronizing as he can. Keep in mind, this young lady wants you to hand your wallet and your life decisions over to her. No, she doesn't. She just wants to increase taxes on the top 2.1% of Americans, Corey. Now, there is a 1 in 50 chance that you're in that percent group if you're watching this video. And I'm sure eventually someone watching this will be in the top 2.1% she'll raise taxes on. But to Corey specifically, cry me a river. Crazy Eye Cortez. It's like the 8th time you've used that joke, and it's never once been funny, for the record. Saying she's fit to dictate, I can't pronounce things for some reason, every one of your comings and goings. No, she doesn't. That's just a lie. Yet a junior high school level understanding of civics seems to elude her. You know what's sad is there are actually adults who don't understand how the government works. The majority of adults actually really don't. So I'd say this is more the fault of the system that has been dumbed down repeatedly due to Republican provisions like No Child Left Behind And to be fair, Democratic provisions like Common Core and Race to the Top. Now, to be fair, I do also think we do need a federal curriculum. However, I do not agree with the standardized testing model and think that just cross-the-board grades would be better. I bet it makes you feel all sorts of secure, knowing this person will be making decisions which will affect your life for decades to come. Yes, this one congresswoman from New York's 14th district will change your life. Is she a presidential candidate now? Again, is she even a senator at this point? No. She can't decide Supreme Court justices. She can't decide a budget. That's just at the level of government she's at. Oh no. If this Marxian ignoramus is the future of the left, we've got a rocky path ahead of us. Hopefully Miss Cortez's handlers. Nah, he's just stupid. We'll learn her some basic facts. We'll learn her. We'll learn her. No, I'm sorry. You cannot make fun of 3 chambers when you say we'll learn her. You are stupid. Some basic facts before she causes permanent damage. If you need me, I'm going to be writing my article about how the 2018 midterms was actually very good for the rent's too damn high party. I'm Ephrom, and good night.